Hello, 1/400 scale airplane collectors. We got another one in from Panda model. It says here. They're a pretty good brand. I've already taken it out of the box. This is registration 65655 of the Tupolev TU-134A, which is the generally it's used for commercial airlines, but the Russian military did use these as well. Let's see, reading Wikipedia, around 42 countries have used this particular airplane, and it was produced between 1966 to 1989, and over 850 of them were made. Well, not many people use them too much anymore because they're apparently very loud, and they obviously consume a lot of fuel being such an old design. Okay. I've actually reviewed the bomber trainer version, which has a pointy nose. And after reviewing that, I realized I don't have a normal rounded nose one, so that's why I bought it. Unfortunately, I'm not at home right now, so I don't have that bomber version to compare to. So these two photos here are this exact registration number. So the blue, I mean, this is probably an old photo. It's probably from, decades old. So I'm not sure, the blues are exact, but that's fine. I mean, the film, the camera, the film, then this monitor, then my phone looking at this monitor, and then your monitor. The blue's going to change, right? It might look purple or pink by the time you see this video. I know my phone here changes colors. The reality of what I see with my own eyes and the reality of what I see through this phone screen are quite different. So these are similar planes. They just don't have the same registration number. Okay. Let's see. This little coaster on a thing of duct tape just to get it to a higher level. Okay, let's hopefully get a stable rotation here. So you can see all the graphics. They are tampo printed. They're paint. They're not decals or anything like that. You can see the nose section is quite nice. All the window paneling. It's a dark gray for the windows themselves. Okay, so that looks pretty neat. Oh boy, I'm now noticing these antennae. I didn't even see those before. And they're not just V's like usual. This is actually like a boomerang shaped antenna. There's also one below it. That's one of the cooler antennae I've seen on these little airplanes. Usually it's just like a shark fin. Okay, and then what the heck are these? I don't know. There's photo etch pieces here with two little studs going into there. So I can't recall if those are on the Krusty B, which is the bomber trainer version. I'm going to try to zoom in a little further here. That's 4 times magnification. So the windows, they do have silver going around the windows themselves, so that's a nice break from the blue stripe. The doors and emergency hatches are in black. There's some sort of logo below the windows themselves, and I guess that text is Aeroflot in Russian. Seems pretty crisp, pretty good. You can see on the wing here we got some panel gaps there, and then the CCCP there. It's a nicely painted red on the tips of the wings. Then the engines. Boy, where's my pick? Well, I'm not sure if that's on purpose, that blue, but that we'll have to see on the other side. This silver lip. There's some gunmetal and dark gray here for the exhaust side. Let's see if we can get a view into those engines. I'm going to get a flashlight here. No, that flashlight's not working. I got a different flashlight. Boy, those things are so deep. It's hard to say, but oh yeah, there you go. There is some fan blade details. They're not passing air or anything like that. You can also see the thinness of the metal pieces on the antennae on the roof there, at the top of the fuselage. Pretty impressive. Okay. You can actually see how glossy this paint is. You see that? I can actually see the silver ring reflecting into the wing. I thought it was a panel for a second, but no, it's just really glossy paint. So that's pretty impressive. Alright, let's try to revolve around here. A lot of details printed on the side here. a little bunch of rectangles. Not sure why, of course, but it's nice to see little random details. Little dots there, some white panels and white hole details, slots here, the Russian flag, or Soviet Union flag back then, I guess. Leading edge is silver here. Then the top of the wings, you have a little red on the ends. I think I got to back out. And this little tip here, I'm not sure why that's there, but it's neat. I did learn from collecting these models that when you have rear fuselage engines, that's why you have to have the wings way up there, because the weight of this is trying to make the whole plane do this. By putting the wings up here, it's trying to level it out. So that's what my understanding is. Again, I'm not an aviation engineer or even really an enthusiast. I just like collecting small models. Oh, there you can really see the details of those hatches or whatever they are. Yeah, the back of the engines are also recessed quite deep. Very nice. Okay, so that's the go around on the top. It's really hard to review these things. They're so small. Now the real challenge is I'm going to have to pick this up and pray I don't bend those antennae. And I'll try to see the bottom of this thing. So there's some sort of bump here. I don't know if that's a viewing port. I don't think so. Maybe the radar's down here. But this is all, glass or plexiglass up front. So someone can actually sit in the front of this thing and look out. So probably for the military reasons. The landing gear is recessed and it's got photo etched panels there. Look again at that antenna, how small it is. There's none back here. And then a whole mess load of little panel gaps and sensors or lights or whatever. Very impressive. All this printing is very fine. The silver is very fine flake as well. Some bumps here I'm noticing. The panel gaps are nice and tight. This is a dental toothpick I'm holding, so that's much thinner than a toothpick. Rubbery or possibly rubbery tires. They kind of grab my fingers, so okay, nice crisp printing. And then look at this. I mean, you have this white black stripe. It's so fine. A little gray. I think maybe that's an ejection port or something. Very impressive. So yeah, I apologize for most of these airplane videos. I don't know anything about airplanes, so just kind of, it's more about just looking at the thing. If you think it looks cool, maybe you want to look into buying it. So let's take a few other planes. The first of which is the one with the sharp pointy nose, which I reviewed before. The TU-134UBL. That's what my notes are saying. Yeah, not focusing, but all this is Plastruck. It's 5mm tubing you can buy from hobby stores. I bought it on AliExpress. And then this is that Brother printer label stuff that I trimmed down. So here we have a Russian Tu-154M. Uzbekistan livery, a much bigger plane it looks like. And this is made by Phoenix. Phoenix actually brands the bottom of their stuff, which is great. So that's good. And let's see, then we have another Panda model of the, Tu-214 Spaceflight Squadron. And it's got some funky something on the roof of that thing. I can't even see what it is. It's probably all classified. It's another big one. And for Western folks, maybe you've flown on an older plane, the DC-930. This is by Phoenix as well. And I guess we'll put that right here. I'll put the big planes back there. Alright, so let's try to get a better top view there for sense of sizing and scaling. There you go. So that's the great thing about scale models. You can see the differences in size and design. I think we all know that, but in the event you've never collected anything and you're curious about these airplanes, that's why I'm throwing it out there. So a nice little cute airplane, very well done, for what it is. I like all these tiny details that you can see on these more recent releases of diecast. Like I have an old Phoenix 747, it has one antenna on the top of it. So, now Phoenix models comes with like 20 antennas in the thing. So they're getting better, but they should, because these things are very expensive in the realm of collecting miniature diecast things. This might be the most expensive thing, other than 1/200 scale airplanes, which are extremely expensive. Well, anyways, yeah. Thank you for watching today, and if any new castings come out in this scale, I will be sure to pick them up. So we'll see you then. Happy flights.